Guys, we're going to take a look at another deal that we have in Michigan. This is another property that I own. One of my guys here in the office is thinking about taking it down, and we're looking to see if I can actually do some type of seller carry and take care of my private money. So, let's hit it. What do you want to take a look at?
Okay, so with the amortized, if you amortize your money at 12%, that payment, and how I can match that or more with my down payment.
Problem is we don't have a purchase price until we get to look at it. And you want to amortize out, you don't want a balloon, right?
If that makes a difference and it all works out.
Again, guys, we are using Karl's calculator to run these numbers. I'm going to run just a crazy number here. So I got $50,000 private money on this. I pay 12% to this particular private money investor. If we amortize that out on a 15 year, because I think we kind of talked about that before, on a 15 year, that's going to be basically $600 a month, okay, that I have to pay out, and it will amortize, it'll close him out. So let's just keep that number in mind. Did you have a purchase price in mind? Because I don't.
Just from roughly the other Saginaw one, I just was thinking about 65 grand. That's what I threw it out the first time.
So the one we're just doing right now on Alexandria, we got an offer at 70 with down payment, with interest and so forth, and we're countering them back. But how much down payment?
Just do 15 to see what numbers come out to.
So if you do 65,000, do 15 down, that leaves a principal balance of $50,000. At 12% for 15 years, you're at $600. It's a break even. The only difference is you're giving me 15 grand up front, and then I just stay in the middle to keep my private money investor happy.
Right.
Is what it comes down to.
Because your payment is $600.
If I amortize it, it's $600.
Right.
Yeah, it's the same number.
Okay. $20,000 down, and that changes my payment. How does that affect your private money?
So that means I'm financing $45,000 to you on a wrap, with $20,000 down at 12%, 15-year amortization. Now my payment, you're paying me $540, and I'm paying my private money investor $600. So now I'm $60 in the negative.
Right. Okay. So that's where it would make sense.
If we do it, so the other one I just did, I did it on a balloon, and I made it come out that okay, I made a monthly pay, or I made a monthly income for mailbox money. I had a down payment, but the balloon payment at the end was basically my payoff to my private money investor. And I left my private money investor at interest only, and so when they finance out, that whole finance out just pays off my private money investor. And if there's a couple $1,000 difference, then I either make it up or whatever. So that works if you want to do a balloon type scenario.
Interesting.
Okay, but then you got to be prepared that, let's say you do a 3-year balloon, 5-year balloon, whatever that balloon is. Now you got to be ready to either finance out of it and get new financing,
correct,
or renegotiate on our terms or whatever.
Right.
Okay. But I mean, that could be a possibility to work it that way.
Okay. And would that make from my standpoint, if you were in my shoes, where would that make more sense, and where would that not, on the sense that, because you would just keep your private money at interest only, correct? And then with that, then you would be able to, are you saying that that's where you'd actually be able to make a little cash flow on it, or
so basically, let's just run it that way. So let's say we put a balloon in it, because it has to have a balloon. So on Karl's calculator, you go into settings, you go down to, we're going to go loan type. We are going to go balloon and select balloon. So then we're going to come back and we're going to do, how long a balloon do you want?
Just say, see what it looks like at a 5-year.
Okay, so we'll go, not that. We want a 60-month balloon. Let's continue doing a 5-year or a 15-year amortization. At 12, we'll leave 20 in there. Working that number, the way we just came up with it, doesn't work. Simply because if we do $65,000, $20,000 down, that means principal's at $45,000 at 12%. That's a payment of $540. Okay, my payment is still $500. So okay, I'm making $40 a month.
Right.
but you're giving me 20 up front. As you're going down on the balloon of 5 years, so in 5 years you would balloon out and you'd owe me $38,000. The problem is I still owe my private money investor 50.
Correct.
Okay, that's too big of margin
Right.
for me to make up and do.
Right.
So let's go back and play with numbers. Yeah, so even if we did that same thing and just change it from 5 years to 3 years, that means I'm at 41,000. So I'd still have to come out of pocket $8,500.
Okay.
Okay, which is 41,659, whatever.
Right.
That I might look at, okay, because that's 3 years down the road. But honestly, I wouldn't want to put you in that situation.
Right. Yeah, it doesn't seem the best.
Let's see, clear. Let's go back to 60, and all we're doing, guys, is we're just playing with numbers. It's all about the numbers game, and if you can make the numbers work for everything, that's awesome. Now the key is what he's trying to do is he's bringing in a private money investor to take care of the down payment to me and his closing costs. And then anytime one of my associates buys in-house, they pay a very small portion to the house to pay for our advertising overhead, things like that brought that deal in to begin with. So he's got a private money investor in here. But what he's really doing is having me carry the first so that he doesn't have to go out and get another private money investor. So he's kind of double dipping with two of us, which is perfectly fine if we can make the numbers work for all of us. Okay.
And how does the balloon? So I know you said it needs to have a balloon on there.
To make it so that I can pay my private money investor. Okay. Unless I amortize my private money. If I do that, it's a little different.
Gotcha.
But if I amortize it, then my payment goes up to 600. That means your payment needs to go up over 600. So at that point, now you have your private money investor in there of whatever you're bringing in there, 30,000 or 35. So there you got 300. So now you're at 6 plus 3, you're at 9. Plus you have to have an insurance. So now you're at 10. And what can the property rent for?
Right.
Now you're probably not at a positive cash flow because of what that property rent for.
I think like 1,200.
You're probably pushing it at 1,200, 11 to 12.
I thought that's what it was rented at last.
I've never rented it.
Gotcha.
The old renter was paying $850, which is way below market. Okay, but that's putting you out of your category at that point in time.
Right.
Here's another. So here's some of it's the purchase price. We can up the purchase price, which will make a change. So let's just play with numbers here. Okay, so this I could probably live with. So at 70,000, $20,000 down payment, 12% interest, 15 years, 5-month balloon or 5-year balloon. I mean, that puts my payment at $600. Okay. If I keep my private money investor at his 500 on interest only, that means in 5 years, when you balloon out, the balloon is going to be $42,400. Okay, I still owe him 50, so that means I got to come out of pocket, $7,500. I could probably live with that. Okay, and the reason why, so everybody understands, is because he's paying $20,000 up front. I'm going to have a positive cash flow of $100 at 60 months. So that's another $6,000. So that's close to what I'm going to have to pay out. So really, I've made $19,000 on the deal. Okay, after paying anything out over a 5-year period. So if you look at $19,000 divided by 5, so I'm making $3,800 a year on it. If you want to stretch it out and advertise it. But at the same time, I'm helping one of my associates get into one of his first properties so that he can put mailbox money in his pocket.
So then what does it look like if you were to just am it out?
If I am it, I'm at 6. Am your side of it out?
Yeah, so I guess I I'm just a little confused. I know that it would obviously you're getting the down payment up front, but why at that AM or when you're ballooning out, wouldn't you want it to be my balloon payment to be your
My payoff, yeah. That's what I really want, yeah.
Right.
But to get there, we got to inflate a bunch of numbers here.
Right.
I mean, let's see. If I do that, see now I can do this. I can sell you the property for $80,000, $20,000 down, and now you're at a 15-year AM, but now your payment's $720 to me. Okay, now that's great for me. I can leave my private money alone. I'll be pocketing $220 a month plus the $20,000 up front. But when you pay me off in 5 years, it's $50,900. So basically, I'll be able to put $900 in my pocket, and I pay off my private money investor.
Right.
That's an awesome deal for me. I do that all day long.
Right. Okay, that makes sense.
Okay, it just does it make sense for you? Because now you're at 720 plus your private money of 300 plus another 100 for insurance, plus you got to add taxes in there. I don't know what taxes are, $50 maybe. At that point, now you're at 1170. Okay, and if you want the formula of adding $300, that means you need to rent that place for $1470.
Right.
Doesn't work.
Right.
Because I know you can't rent it for $1470.
Right. Okay.
Okay. Guys, we went into a lot of detail on this. Hopefully we can use some of it. We'll keep working the numbers and see what happens. But again, it's all about putting mailbox money in your hip pocket, and we're trying to do that with Connor right now. Hey guys, if you like those videos, check out our playlist. At the same time, don't forget to subscribe to our channel by clicking down here. Let's put some mailbox money in your hip pocket.